my humble request to all the devotees to please keep your camera on. Okay, muted. Thank you. So first of all, we will do Mangalacharan and then we'll start the class. Omagyanutimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namo Sri Chaitanyamanoਭीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणो रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमोऽहं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Hare Krishna. So today we will be discussing chapter 9 and 10. So in this chapter, further discussion of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti will be continued. So there are around items from items 20 to 42. In the last section we have discussed, in the last class we have discussed up to 20 section we have discussed. So 20 section, up to 20 items we have described, 1 to 20. Among 64 items, 20 items we have described, and now 21 to 42 here. So, but we will not go to discuss or read all the items because then it will be very long class. So we will discuss some items which is there in the objective of our first guideline, and based on that we will complete the class, and we are expecting that all of you are reading all the items in detail, and if you have any question we can separately discuss. Okay, is that all right? Okay, so first of all, the blaspheming of the devotees. So regarding this blaspheming of the devotees, we will read from Srila Prabhupada purport, whatever he has given. So please start reading. Someone can read.
One should not tolerate blasphemy of the Lord or his devotees. In this connection, in the 10th canto, 74th chapter, verse 40 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj, "My dear king, if a person, after hearing blasphemous propaganda against the Lord and his devotees, does not go away from that place, he becomes bereft of the effect of all pious activities."
Thank
In
you.
one,
Yes, continue.
in one of Lord Chaitanya's Shiksha, Shikshastakam verses, Shikshastakam verses, it is stated, the devotee should be more tolerant than the tree and more submissive than the grass. He should offer all honor to others, but may not accept any honor for himself. In, in spite of Lord Chaitanya being so humble and meek as a devotee, when he was informed about injuries inflicted on the body of Sri Nityananda, he immediately ran to the spot and wanted to kill the offenders, Jagai and Madhai. This behavior of Lord Chaitanya is very significant. It shows that a Vaishnava may be very tolerant and meek, foregoing everything for foregoing everything for his personal honor, but when it is a question of the honor of Krishna or his devotee, he will not tolerate any insult. There are three ways
Yeah, please continue.
There are three ways of dealing with such insults. If someone is heard blaspheming by words, one should be so expert that he can defeat the opposing party by argument. If he is unable to defeat the opposing party, then the next step is that he should not just stand there meekly, but should give up his life. The third process is followed if he is unable to execute the above mentioned two processes, and this is that one must leave the place and go away. If a devotee does not follow any of the above mentioned three processes, he falls down from his position of devotion.
Yes. So this is the point that we should not tolerate the blasphemous word, activity, anything incurred, which is propagated against the Lord and His devotees. So this blasphemous propaganda is going on in many ways in today's world. So we should be very much cautious and we should act accordingly. Otherwise, we will be also we have to be also be victim of that blasphemous. We will be also part. We will either we have to part of the problem or we have to part of the solution. Yes, if the something some blasphemy is happening on our own, then we can tolerate. Okay, but when it is happening to the Lord or His devotees, we have to take some action. So, what actions we have to take? Here, actually, example is given by that by the incident regarding the Jagai Madhai deliverance of Jagai Madhai. In that context, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responded, and also some other principles are also given. These three dealings in such situation, how one should deal with this kind of situation. So now I would like to ask to all of you that have you ever experienced any such incident in your life after you join ISKCON and you start practicing Krishna consciousness? Any of you would like to share? Have you ever come across? Have you ever come across of any incident where in front of you someone was insulted, someone some blasphemous words you have heard, and at that situation whether you have able to follow this principle or not follow, what was your experience? Just share your experience. It is not that we may not be knowing that we have to react we have to respond in this way, so we may not responded the way how here Prabhupada has written, so Rupa Goswami is writing, but somehow or in some way we may be responded. So if anyone please share any of your experience, please think of any of your experience where.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Prabhuji, many times in office when now people in office are used to with me. So when I started Krishna consciousness and I started wearing this tulsi kanthi and the food habits of mine. So people used to mock at me कि क्या तुम्हारा हमेशा onion garlic करते हो. So where you will find these things? Go and live in UP. In Bengal, you will not find such things. You'll have to eat all these things. সারাদিন কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ করে কিছু লাভ হবে না. So such things, I mean, I have to listen. But I dealt with it somehow, and now people are used to it. So I don't face much issues now. So those who are new interacting with me for the first time, something like that. So they are mostly surprised how you live without, without onion garlic, because everywhere you will go, you will not find a Jain food everywhere. So just the things that we see.
No, but here actually the point is the blasphemy. Maybe they were not. I know we have. I have also experienced such thing, but that
Hmm.
was mainly to us about our practice.
Yes.
Okay, so that we have to deal it with with humbleness. We have to deal it intelligently, strategically, whatever way we can deal it. The question I am asking that some other devotee were blasphemed and in front of you, some
Uh, Prabhu, so one experience I can remember recently.
you need not
So
to take anyone name. You need not to take anyone name. Explain
I
it
was
impersonally, like confidentially. Don't take any name.
so we were on Ekadashi day, like we were standing in the queue for prasadam in the temple.
Yes.
So there was one lady, like elderly. So she asked me, like, do we have to pay? So I said, yes, I think there is some 80 or 100 rupees we have to pay. Then she started that, oh, মন্দিরেও এরা টাকা দিয়ে ব্যবসা শুরু করেছে এটা. So it was very, on Ekadashi, I was trying to control, but then I said that whatever little I could, I said that, আরে ওরা যদি বাইরে যায়, ওরা কি ফ্রি থেকে ওদেরকে দেবে? চাল ডাল এগুলো তো ফ্রিতে পাবে না, তো ওইগুলো তো ওরা নিয়ে বানিয়ে আপনাদের দেবে নাকি? তো বলছে যে ওরা কি দিচ্ছে, সব তো ভগবান জুটায়, মানে সাম আর্গুমেন্টস she was giving. হ্যাঁ, so there was another devotee in front of me, so he also started like
Supporting her.
support, no, not supporting her, supporting me. So
Counteracting her.
huh,
Yeah.
huh. So this was one thing. Finally, I had to just move away because she was very getting loud. So
Yes. So the first thing what we could do that either we would when we need to avoid that situation, we have to go away from that situation because this kind of words are actually can affect our shraddha also, and otherwise if we can counteract, if we can logically defeat her, that why this is taken, like here three aspects are given. Okay, if one if someone heard of blasphemy word, one should be so expert that he can defeat the opposing party by argument. So we need to defeat that, and we should present the reasoning in such a way that that person should understand, should change his viewpoint completely. So that is the way how we can, by using our speech, we can defeat that person's view and make her or him understand that what the point that you are telling, it is wrong. Okay, so we have to take some action, or if we don't not able to do that, another point is that we should live our life, but that is not possible practically maybe. Huh. But if these two things are not possible, at least we should leave that place. We should not hear further. If we think that yes, they are not, sometimes maybe we may be presenting something logically, but that person is not ready to hear. He is in the mood of only shouting and blaspheming the devotees of the Lord, something like that. Not here actually, particularly the devotees. So in that case, we have to leave the place. So this is an experience, and we should learn that what we can say. Now the point is, this is a very common scenario. What Rajiv Prabhu has told, this is a very common scenario. What we can say. See, I'm not going just reading this thing, because the objective of this thing that we should understand that how this is a practical thing, very important actually. So I am discussing. I will be interacting more this kind of, because otherwise things are given in the book, you can read, and questions will be asked. But some questions will be asked based on this also. This is your learning how we can, what we can say. Anyone? anyone has, even though you have not faced the situation what Rajiv Prabhu has faced, but if you any thought is coming, if you were there, what you can say to defeat the argument that in temple you are taking money, what is this, what can be told? Any of you have faced what Rajiv Prabhu has faced? I think many of you have already faced. Yes.
Yes, এরকম প্রণাম প্রভু। এরকম আমাদের প্রতিবার ইনফ্যাক্ট ঘরের মধ্যেও হয়, ফ্যামিলি মেম্বার হোক,
হ্যাঁ।
অনেক রকমের এই সমস্ত কথা সবসময় ফেস করতে হয়, বেশিরভাগই দিনের অনেকটা দিনই ফেস করতে হয়।
তো কিভাবে আমরা সেটাকে কি করতে পারি, আমরা কি কি বলতে পারি এরকম ধরনের বৈষ্ণব নিন্দা বা ভক্তদের সম্বন্ধে যেরকম বিরূপাত্মক মন্তব্য যদি আমাদের সামনে কেউ বলে, তখন আমাদের কি বলা উচিত, আমরা কি বলতে পারি?
আসলে আমি তো আগে আগে অনেক বেশি ভুল মানে অনেক বাজেভাবে রিয়াক্ট করতাম, কিন্তু এখন অতটা করি না। এখন শান্ত থাকি, তাকে প্রসাদ পাওয়ানোর চেষ্টা করি, এটা করি গো।
না, এখানে কিন্তু শান্ত থাকলে বলা হচ্ছে না, প্রভুপাদ বলছেন শান্ত থাকলে হবে না। চৈতন্য মহাপ্রভু শান্ত থাকেননি। চৈতন্য মহাপ্রভু আমাদের ত্রিনাদপি শুনেছেন, ওর শিক্ষা দিয়েছেন আমাদের জন্য, যদি আমাদেরকে অপমান করে, আমাদের কি হয়, আমরা উল্টো করি। আমাদেরকে যখন কেউ কিছু বলে আমরা সঙ্গে সঙ্গে তখন তার প্রতিক্রিয়া ব্যক্ত করি, আর অন্যদের ক্ষেত্রে বলছে হ্যাঁ ঠিকই বলছে, যা বলছে ঠিকই বলছে, মনে মনে এরকম বলে আমরা সেটার মনের মধ্যে একটা এরকম চলে আসে অনেক সময়, বলছি না সবার ক্ষেত্রে, কিন্তু অনেক সময় চলে আসে সেটা, হ্যাঁ ঠিকই তো। তো অ্যাকচুয়ালি হওয়া উচিত উল্টো, আমাদের ক্ষেত্রে সহ্য করা উচিত, আর অন্য ভক্তদের ক্ষেত্রে বললে সেটা প্রতিবাদ করা উচিত।
প্রভু, বলছি যে যারা জানেন না, যারা সেই স্টেজে যায়নি, যারা সেই
তাকে
সুযোগ পাচ্ছে
সেটা
না
বলছি, তাকে
ভগবানের।
কি বোঝানো যেতে পারে, তাকে আমি সে তো যে বলছে সে তো সত্যি সত্যি না জেনেই বলছে, আমি এটাই ধরে
হ্যাঁ
নিচ্ছি।
প্রভু।
তাকে আমি কি ভালো করে বলবো, আমি এরকম নয় যে প্রতিবাদ করা মানে এটা নয়। আমি এখানে কি বলছি, কি প্রবাদ বলছেন ইউ শুড ডিফিট বাই আর্গুমেন্ট, মানে তাকে যুক্তি দিয়ে পরাস্ত করা, তার যে এই যে নিন্দামূলক যে মন্তব্য সেটাকে যুক্তি দিয়ে পরাজিত করতে হবে। তো সেটা আমি মানে আমি জানতে চাইছি যে কি বলা যেতে পারে, কি যুক্তি দেওয়া যেতে পারে। আচ্ছা, সাদৃতা মাতাজি কিছু বলতেছেন? ইয়েস প্লিজ মাতাজি।
হরে কৃষ্ণ প্রভুজি, সাদর প্রণাম। প্রভুজি বলছি যে এটা তো ডিপেন্ড করে যে উনি কি বলছেন সেটার উপর।
না, এই যে যেটা বলেছেন, এই যে রাজীব প্রভুকে বলেছেন এই যে মন্দিরে দাঁড়িয়ে আছে একাদশীর দিন টাকা নিয়ে প্রসাদ দিচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ, আমরা দুভাবে করতে পারি। এক হচ্ছে ফার্স্টে ওনারা যেহেতু মেটেরিয়ালিস্টিক পিপল, তো
হুম।
মানে ভক্ত ভাবে হননি, তো ওনাদেরকে আগে একটা যুক্তি দিয়ে মানে মেটেরিয়ালিস্টিক ভাবে কোনো যুক্তি দিয়ে আগে বোঝানো, যে কি এই যেমন আমরা অনেক উদাহরণ ইউজ করি।
হ্যাঁ।
এই যে উনি বললেন যে আম, আপনি বাইরে কোথাও গেলেও তো কোনো অর্থ দিয়েই করতেন, এটা হচ্ছে ফার্স্ট। আর সেকেন্ড হচ্ছে আমরা যা যা শিখেছি পরম্পরা থেকে, সেটার ব্যাপারে ওনাকে একটু বোঝানো, যে যেটা আমরা বুঝেছি, যেটা আমরা শিখেছি, মানে সেটা ভাবে ওনাকে বোঝানো।
সবকিছু তো তখন ওই নতুন অবস্থা তাকে বোঝানোর সময়ও থাকবে না, বলা যাবে না, কিন্তু জাস্ট কিছু একটা বলা যেটাতে তাকে বোঝানো যাবে কিছু একটা। যেমন আমি একটা জিনিস বলি, আর কেউ চেষ্টা করবেন, আমি যে কি বলা যেতে পারে, মানে সবকিছু তো তখন আমি তাকে পুরো একটা মানে 6 সেশন কোর্স ডিওয়াইএস কোর্স দিতে পারবো না তাকে সংক্ষেপে সেই সময় অতটুকু সময়ের মধ্যে। কিন্তু আমরা কিছু বলতে পারি, যেমন আমার যেটা মনে হয় যেটা বলা যেতে পারে ভালোভাবে, যে দেখুন এখানে এই যে টাকাটা নেওয়া হচ্ছে, এইটা আজকে আজকে প্রসাদ হচ্ছে অমূল্য। আজকে ইভেন শুধু শুধু প্রসাদের ক্ষেত্রে কেন, ভগবত গীতা বিতরণের ক্ষেত্রেও অনেক সময় আমরা এই প্রশ্নের সম্মুখীন হই, তাই না? যে ভগবত গীতা একটা জ্ঞান, গীতার জ্ঞানটাকে আমরা বিক্রি করছেন, আপনারা টাকা টাকা নিচ্ছেন গীতা দিয়ে, গীতা তো দান করা উচিত। সেরকম একই ধরনের মানসিকতা এটা। তো এটাকে আমরা এটা বলতে পারি যে দেখুন এটা আমরা এই অমূল্য গীতা বা অমূল্য প্রসাদের কোনো মূল্য নেই, অমূল্য, এটাকে আপনি কোনো টাকা দিয়ে কিনতে পারবেন না। কিন্তু এই যে অনুদানটা দিচ্ছেন, এই অনুদানটা যে যাচ্ছে সেই অনুদানের মাধ্যমে আজকে যারা এই মন্দির কর্তৃপক্ষ আমাদের মতন আরো অনেক ভক্তদের কাছে প্রসাদটাকে পৌঁছে দিতে পারে। আর কিছু না, সিম্পল, মানে আমি জাস্ট একটা এক্সাম্পল বলছি, আমাদেরকে এইরকম ভাবে বোঝাতে হবে। আমরা কি করি, যখন আমাকে কেউ জিজ্ঞেস করে ভগবদ্গীতার ক্ষেত্রে, আমরা বলি দেখুন এটা জাস্ট প্রিন্টিং প্রাইস। এই প্রিন্টিং প্রাইসটা আমরা নিচ্ছি যাতে করে আপনাকে এই বইটা দিলাম, আমরা আবার একটা বই প্রিন্ট করতে পারি আপনারই মতন আরো এরকম জিজ্ঞাসু ব্যক্তিকে, উৎসাহী ব্যক্তিকে ভগবদ্গীতা দেওয়ার জন্য। তা আমরা এমন কিছু বলবো যেটাতে সে অফেন্ডেডও হবে না, অথচ কিন্তু সে সেটাকে আমাদের যুক্তিটাকে ফেলতেও পারবে না, বলছে হ্যাঁ ঠিকই, এটা তো মানে আমরা গীতাটাকে বিতরণ করছি, আমরা বিতরণ করার জন্য তো আমাদের একটা বুক বাইন্ড করতে কস্ট লাগছে, সেটা আমরা নিচ্ছি। আজকে প্রসাদম বানাতে, আজকে একটা প্রসাদমের যদি প্লেট গোবিন্দাস দিলাম, গোবিন্দাস ইজ মেকিং প্রফিট, দ্যাট ইজ এ ডিফারেন্ট থিং কমপ্লিট। কিন্তু আজকে মন্দির কর্তৃপক্ষ আজকে এক প্লেট প্রসাদের যা কস্ট মোটামুটি সেই কস্টই রাখছে, তাই না? আমাদের যে বিভিন্ন সময় অনেক সময় কুপন দিয়ে করা হয়, অনেক সময় ফ্রি করা হয়, যদি ডোনেশন আসে বলবো যে ডোনেশন যদি মন্দির কর্তৃপক্ষ পায় তখন ফ্রি দেওয়া হয়। আজকে এই পরিস্থিতিতে হয়তো ডোনেশনের মানে ফ্লো সেরকম নেই, সেজন্য এটা আমাদের একটা সুযোগ, আমরা একটা সুযোগ পাচ্ছি ভগবানের সেবা করার জন্য। আমরা অর্থ উপার্জন করছি, উপার্জিত অর্থের সামান্য একটা কিছু দিচ্ছি যাতে করে সেটা দিয়ে মন্দির কর্তৃপক্ষ আরো এক প্লেট প্রসাদম আরেকজনকে খাওয়াতে পারে, প্রসাদ দিতে পারে, প্রসাদ বিতরণ করতে পারে। আমরা প্রসাদ বিতরণে, ভগবানের এই প্রসাদ বিতরণের অংশীদার হওয়ার সুযোগ পাচ্ছি, এটাকে আপনি হারাবেন? এরকম ভাবে আমরা কিছু করতে পারি। তো দ্যাট দিস ইজ দ্য ওয়ে উই নিড টু আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড দ্যাট হাউ উই ক্যান oppose his argument, defeat his argument, and also inspire him or her to be favorable to the devotional culture. We have to present this thing in a different in this way. See, we are not in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's situation or that kind of situation that we can invoke chakra or we can start some taking Kshatriya position. That may not be possible. But even though that also we have done, okay, this, as this video will be confidential, I am sharing that when the Bangladesh incident happened, okay, when there were problem in Bangladesh, the devotees were attacked, temples were attacked, we have started demonstrating. We have exhibited our demonstration in front of the temple. That is in line with this principle, because they were blaspheming our devotees. They have killed actually. And if we have not done anything, we should have been we should also get some reaction of that. That means we are also supporting. So that is the way we need to see. Present situation is very complicated in many way. Things, many way these blasphemous, এই ধরনের নিন্দামূলক প্রচার, এই অপপ্রচার চলবে, এবং আমাদের সেই বিরুদ্ধে সেখানে আমাদের উপযুক্ত ব্যবস্থা নিতে হবে। এমন ব্যবস্থা, যে ব্যবস্থা নেওয়ার মাধ্যমে আমরা এমন এমন কোনো প্রতিক্রিয়া ব্যক্ত করব না। দুটো জিনিস, একটা হচ্ছে টু রিয়াক্ট অ্যান্ড টু রেসপন্ড। আমরা রিয়াক্ট করবো না, রিয়াক্ট করে হ্যাঁ আপনি কি বলছেন, আপনি কোথাকার কে এসছেন, আপনি জানেন না ভক্তদের সময় এরকম বলতে হয়। আরে সে তো প্রসাদ পাওয়ার জন্য অ্যাটলিস্ট লাইনে দাঁড়িয়েছে, তাকে তো সেই লাইনে দাঁড়ানোর ইচ্ছাটাও চলে যাবে, তাকে আমি তার সঙ্গে এরকম খুব অভদ্র ব্যবহার করি, ঠিক আছে? দিস ইজ কল্ড রিয়াক্ট। সে হয়তো ভক্ত একজন করছে, আরেকজন ভক্তের বিরুদ্ধে এরকম কথা বলছে বলে করছে, তারা হয়তো সেই ভক্তদের পক্ষ নিয়ে বলছে, কিন্তু বলারও ধরন আছে, উই নিড টু প্রেজেন্ট ইট প্রপার। Okay. So and we can explain that, see, here the temple residential devotees, they are not working anywhere. If we don't support, so how the temple will be run? And we are getting the opportunity to support this kind of noble activity. So like that we need to present. And when there are some gruesome instances, some very what I can say, very physical offense, physical assault will happen, then we have to do some protest. We have to do some protest. Okay. So by showing our protest, because we are hearing by the newspaper media, we are hearing that such a what I can say, very violent incident that happened in some places. So we should do some protest. And we have remembered, we were standing in front of the temple, media was there, although But whatever the result of it, we don't know. But we have tried to do whatever is possible from our end. Okay, this is not a, and those kind of protests is not nothing related to political or anything. It is a in line with devotional principle. Is that clear? And if we cannot do anything, we should leave that place immediately. We should go somewhere else. If that person is not ready to hear anything, or by arguing, if he or she is becoming more reactive, then we should stop. আমরা যদি দেখি যে সে আরো বেশি তার সে ক্রোধিত হচ্ছে এবং আরো বেশি কিছু বলছে, তখন থেমে যেতে হবে। এই না, একে আর ভাজে বলছে বলতে হবে, বলতে তো মানে আমাকে সে জায়গা ছেড়ে চলে যাবে। Okay, so this is how we need to understand. This is, there are various examples. Yes. Yes.
Prabhu, there is one situation. I without taking names, like here, when a non-devotee is going or speaking something against the devotees or the Lord, it is easy for us to take side. But sometimes it happens that one devotee is speaking against another devotee.
Yes.
So the particular instance, I will just uh, give just a little glimpse that what happened. There is one very senior devotee. So he was like saying that, "Arey, what is the use of going to that class? He cannot even pronounce any Sanskrit." So so that
Okay, I
on
understand.
something relation to this.
Yes. So, so for that we need to understand. That's why I am recommending to read that Vaishnav Ninda book. Okay. What is Vaishnav Ninda? There are some instances where, like this thing, I can understand that one person, suppose you are connected to some person. Okay, some say a devotee A, you are connected with devotee A, and you are cultivated by that devotee A. Now, all of a sudden, at one point of time, you are thinking that you want to go to some devotee B. Okay, so at the initial stage, I have already described this thing, that at that stage, he may he should say some in such a way. This kind of things is not support. Cannot be supported. That he is telling, he is trying to find out some fault. Okay, and then he is in discouraging to you. Rather, he should say that you should, Prabhu, you should be committed to one class. That will be helpful for your spiritual progress. So the point is, he is trying to make you committed. Maybe I don't know what is that, but if one maybe try to make you to committed to that one class, but the way of doing should be very uh, positive, very instructive, not that to indicate some fault to other. That is the cause of matsarja, enviness towards that devotee. Okay, trying to find some fault. So that should not be there. But he can say that, Prabhu, in many, I need to also tell many cases in some devotees that, Prabhu or Mataji, we have heard that you are going so many places. Better you fixed up. It is up to you. We are not forcing anyone. It is up to you. Choose at least one class. Festival is okay. Temple is open. But to attend a class, you should choose one class for your basic cultivation, and you continue with that. If you want to go to class B, okay, class C, D, whatever, whichever is physically conveniently transportable, you go. But we don't say, oh, you are going to that class, that is their problem, that is happening, this thing. Everywhere some problem is there, because we are in Dukhalaya Masasa. Spiritual movement is moving in the material realm. So problem is there everywhere. And nobody is perfect. We are not anywhere in this perfect. Frankly speaking. So we have some shortcomings. Everyone has some shortcomings, but we should not highlight that. That is Vaishnava Linga. So in that case, it is very difficult. Recently, this kind of questions has been asked to very senior person also, and he also said that this we can discuss one to one. It cannot be discussed in open forum. Ah, so I know I have also gone through this kind of situation, but how I deal it, it is difficult at that time. Applying this kind of principle directly is difficult because he is a senior position, and we cannot directly start argument with him. Okay, here actually particularly this scenario is this thing is being uh, should be applied against non-devotees case because the example is given with context of Jagai Madai. Okay, so this principle should be applied for non-devotee situation. This situation we should pray to Krishna, and we should pray that we should not be victim of anything, and we should pray for that devotees also. One thing I can say, this one video is there, I can share. That is by His Holiness Jagotara Sai Maharaj only. He has been also asked this question. He said that we cannot do argument, but if we have a relation one to one, not in front of everyone, one to one, we can ask that devotee some question. Jagotara Sai Maharaj says that we can put forward question that Prabhu, is it right to say in this way that that devotee, that we should not go to that devotee because he cannot pronounce any Sanskrit words properly? Is this the right way to judge a devotee? We can give question. We are not opposing. So Jagotara Sai Maharaj's video is there. I can share this video with everyone. I have kept it saved. It's a very important video. He said he was acting like that way. He was acting and explaining how we should behave because the question was that someone was standing in the line in the queue, and someone has entered in between, and from the backside some devotee started shouting like anything. Ah, how he can do? And there was a hotted uh, situation, exchange of heated words. So then that devotee has gone to Maharaj. Then what should I do? I was so upset. I have been told like this way by that senior devotee. Then Maharaj said, you can put forward humbly some question. Prabhu, if you don't mind, shall I put forward one question? I have a question in my mind. Could you please clarify me? Okay. After he becomes calm down or when he is normal, and then he will realize, and you will also not be doing any offense because you are not started reacting to him in front of everyone. So this is not very easy thing to apply, but if it is possible, we can do up to this. Something we should do because otherwise we are keeping, or if we cannot do, at least we should pray to Krishna. That is our last hope. Okay. Okay, so one point we are discussing, it is getting time, but okay, but thank you. This discussion is this you are liking or not? It is okay.
Yes, Prabhu, these practical examples are helpful.
Yes. So because the things are already there, so you can read and understand. Okay, so next point about this is we will read. This you can read, huh? This you can read. I will now come to the point. Archanam. Some Prabhuji can read.
So
Archanam.
please share the screen.
Oh, screen is not shared. Sorry. Yes. Archanam.
Archana means worship of the deity in the temple. By executing this process, one confirms himself to be not the body but spirit soul. In the 10th canto, 81st chapter, verse 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is told how Sudama, an intimate friend of Krishna's, while going to the house of a Brahmana, murmured to himself, simply by worshipping Krishna, one can easily achieve all the results of heavenly opulence, liberation, supremacy over the planetary systems of the universe, all the opulences of this material world, and the mystic power of performing the yoga system. The events leading to Sudama's murmuring this statement are as follows. Sri Krishna had ordered his friend Sudama to go to a Brahman's house and ask for some food. The Brahmanas were performing a great sacrifice, and Sri Krishna told Sudama to plead with them that he and Balarama were feeling hungry and needed some food. When Sudama went there, the Brahmanas refused to offer anything. But the wives of the Brahmanas, upon hearing that Sri Krishna wanted some foodstuff, immediately took some palatable dishes and went to offer them to Sri Krishna. In the Vishnu Rahasya, also, it is stated any person within this world who is engaged in the worship of Vishnu can very easily achieve the ever blissful kingdom of God known as Vaikuntha Loka.
Yes. So this Archanam is very important. This Archanam makes us our practice of Vaidhi Bhakti very pakka, very systematic, because if we fix a particular time of offering or doing aratrika and everything, so our entire life will be very, our daily life will be very properly scheduled, so that we can perform the routine devotional service. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti means routine devotional service. And in some other place, I think in Nectar of Devotion only, some other place, Prabhupada will explain further that by this doing this Archanam, one uh, result is, one effect is that we will come out from this identity of our bodily identity and come, we can start appreciating we are as a spirit soul, as a servant of Krishna. And also another thing, that we will also understand Krishna as a person. By doing following the archana, we can understand that Krishna is a person. When we offer bhoga, we offer water, we offer cloth to, after we water to wash the hand, and then we offer cloth to dry up the hand, and then we offer everything. So one after another. So exactly just like a person. Okay. So this personal feelings, personal relationship develops with the Lord very nicely. So this is the glory of worshipping deity in the temple, and it also gives us other benediction. Like here, actually, the pastimes of that Jaggi Brahmanas were described. Okay, it is just given the Sudama's name, but actually it is, he has, Krishna has sent all the cowherd boys only, whoever there. Not only alone Krishna, Sudama was gone. So cowherd boys has gone and asked for the food from the Jati Brahmanas, but they denied. So, so that is the point. This also another thing, that only uh, practice of dry rituals is not enough. We should develop the feelings. Okay, we should understand that Krishna and Balaram is feeling hungry. The deity, if I don't feed them, if I don't offer honor bhoga, they will be in hungry. So this feeling should come. How can I take food without giving them food, without offering the bhoga to Lord? So this kind of feeling should be there. Otherwise, oh, Krishna is God. Krishna, how he can feel hungry? He is Bhaktaram. He is Atmaram. So what is the point? He is self-satisfied. How he is dependent on me? I am dependent on him. So if we start doing mental speculation, we will never be able to. That's why this jnana will cover our devotional feelings. Rather, that's why the practice of this archanam will help us, that we are doing some activity, and it is exchanging of action, interaction. We are interacting, and it is gives us a personal feelings. So this way, this is very glorious, and particularly grihasthas should do. By doing deity worship, grihasthas can particularly can use their opulences in Lord's service. So that's why this is very important for grihastha, for everyone. Actually, this archana, where in the Bhagavatam, it is explained in the temple also. Grihastha should take the responsibility of archana. Brahmachari should be engaged in the preaching, and brahmachari should be support will serve them, help them in preaching, and grihastha should be engaged in archanam, in the deity worship, regular temple worship, particularly for grihastha. It is written in Bhagavatam that Savanam Kirtanam Smaranam Vishnu. So in that verse, this is there in the seventh canto, that famous verse by Srila Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj. So in that context, there is a very big, very long purport. In Bengali, it is very difficult because it is in Bengali. Srila Prabhupada has copied the purport of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it is very difficult purport. Means Prabhupada means actually by His Holiness Bhakti Sai Maharaj has copied the purport of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it is difficult to understand, but English is very simple way. Prabhupada has explained everything. So you can read. So you can understand about the Archanam, Savanam, Kirtanam, Bandhanam, Smaranam, Archanam, everything is there. So in the Archanam section, Prabhupada is writing that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is giving this purport actually. That Grihastha should take care of this thing. Because for doing deity worship, we need opulence. So that is important. So there are many things.
Prabhu,
Yes,
one question, Prabhu.
yes,
So, let us take two cases. One is doing archanam for the photographs, photo frames,
yes, yes,
and then other case is doing archanam for the vigrahas.
yes.
So, in these two cases, is there a difference in mood, like that one case enhances mood or the other is more favorable?
No, internal mood is not different. Internal moods can be same. Internal mood should be same. Okay, because in Bhagavatam there is a verse that Lord can be take archa avatar by clay, by wood, uh, by marble, uh, and by earth. Okay, so there are four things are mentioned. Okay, stone, earth, like that. Four things are mentioned. I'm not remembering marble. So all the forms are Lord's or Chavatar. Okay, so the point is the Bigraha, when it is coming to Bigraha, Srila Prabhupada said a Bigraha worship should be done after doing the Prana Pratishtha, and and for the Bigraha worship one should be Brahminically initiated. Second initiation should be completed. Completely initiation should be done. That kind of person can do the uh, Bigraha. And it is having this various 64 items are there, various elaborate way of worshipping the deity, like in temple, in a very nice way. In Bengali, there is a word, সেবার একটা পরিপাটি ব্যাপার আছে, পরিপাটি করে সেবা করা, খুব যত্ন সহকারে অনেকক্ষণ ধরে সুন্দর করে গুছিয়ে সবগুলো অঙ্গকে সুন্দরভাবে পালন করা। কিন্তু গৃহস্থদের পক্ষে সেটা সবসময় সম্ভব নাও হতে পারে। সেই জন্য যদি সেটা সম্ভব না হয়, আমরা ফটো ফ্রেমে রাখতে পারি। We can keep a photo frame of that, and we can do a basic standard in Namatto Porichaya book, and in Bengali it is clearly explained the simple way of deity worship, and that is elaborate deity worship books are there which the temples are following. So there are 5 items offering is there, 64 items offering, 16 items offerings are there, Sorosha Upachar, Pancha Upachar, there are various upachars are mentioned. So when the Vigraha is having the Pran Pratishtha is the proper Vigraha, then it should be done in a more elaborate way and very particular way without failing that things. Otherwise the Sheva Aparad may come. And if it is in photo frame, then so much elaboration is not required. A simple standard can be maintained. Like in Grihastha cases, many a times it is not possible to do Mangal Arati at 4:30. So senior disciples of Prabhupada has given the instruction that okay, instead of 4:30, within 5:30 can be also done. But you can fix, like if not possible 5:30, like you can fix the time. If it is 6 o'clock, it is 6 o'clock. And in many residential area, there are some restriction of doing playing sound of blowing conch shell loudly. The neighboring people can complain. Particularly, in Bhakti Vinod Ashram, we cannot blow the conch shell on 4:30 at 4:30 p.m. We just make the sound by hand. We don't blow. Okay, it is not blown at 4:30 because the other residential area is very close to the temple. So in some other temple, it is some other cases, sometimes they first complete the chanting and everything, and they start Mangalarati at sometimes. I have heard in one particular base is there in Delhi, they do Mangalarati at 7:45 a.m. But that is a fixed. So this kind of adjustment can be done, okay, and by consulting with senior devotees, we can implement what kind of adjustment we can implement in consultation with senior devotees, not our based on hand. If a grihastha is there, the head of the family, who is husband and wife, can consult, and based on the scenario, situation, everything, they can implement a standard which they can follow very nicely. Not that ki 4:30 I am doing only one day and then rest of the week I am so tired I can't do anything. So that is the not a point. Point is whatever I can do, I should do, and that's why better to avoid the seva aparat, to keep frame. That is better. That is better. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. So now moving towards the submission. Submission means big gupti. So this Bhakti, regarding this, we should understand what is this. Someone can read from Mataji's side, one paragraph. It's very important. As thing. Hare Krishna, please quickly. Time is going. So Mataji can read. In the Skanda Purana, there is a statement about submission unto the lotus feet of the Lord.
In the Skanda Purana, there is a statement about submission unto the lotus feet of the Lord. It is said there that those who are sober devotees can offer their submission to Krishna in the following three ways. Samprartha Atmika.
Samparthanatmika. Samparthanatmika.
Sampatatmika, very feelingly offering prayers. Doino Bodhika, humbly submitting oneself. Lalosha Moi, desiring some perfectional stage. This desiring some perfectional stage in spiritual life is not sense gratification. When one realizes something of his constitutional relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he understands his original position and wants to be reinitiated in this position either as friend, servant, parent, or conjugal lover of Krishna. That is called laloshamoi, or very eagerly desiring to go to one's natural position. This laloshamoi stage of submission comes in the stage of perfect liberation, which is technically called Sharup Siddhi, when the living entity understands by perfect spiritual advancement and revelation his original relationship with the Lord.
Thank you. So these are the three ways we can put forward our submission. If you have, if you do you have the Vaishnav song book Bhakti Giti? If you see the Bhakti Giti, our acharyas have also categorized their bhajans in this thing, big Bhakti. There are big Bhakti in Prarthanatmika big Bhakti, Doino Bodhika big Bhakti, and Laloshamai big Bhakti. There are various bhajans in that category. I will not get enter into because the time is less. Because if you see, there are various prayers by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, by Narottam Das Thakur. It is written Laloshamai big Bhakti. So like that. So particularly that song, Narottam Das Thakur, that song is Lalashamoy. Uh, just in between sentence I am remembering, that is Gathibo Mala. What is that?
Radha Krishna Pranmora.
Radha Krishna Pranamo. Yes. Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugalo Kishore. So this is where Lalashamoy Prarthana. Okay. So that is how. Just one example, and this is a at bhava stage. This kind of prayers or submission, we cannot do artificially imitating the exalted devotees. Uh, yes, we can. That's why in some place I have heard, Prabhupada has not allowed to sing this song publicly. He has told not this is not for a public song, entertainment song. Radha Krishna Pranamodo. It is a very exalted level song. So this is not that at Shadaka stage we can sing actually. I think somewhere I don't know. Some one devotee was explaining somewhere. So anyway, but it can be sung, but that is okay. So I don't get into that controversy of whether it should be sung or not. But if you go through the song, you can understand this is a very exalted feelings. Even our Tulsi Arati, Tulsi Arati is also in that mood. Seva Adhikaro Diya, Karo Nijo Das. We are praying to Tulsi Maharani, we are praying. So it is also very exalted, but that has been Prabhupada has given us the permission to offer Tulsi Arati and sing that song. So we have to remember that we need some qualification at Sharup Siddhi stage, which happens at Ashukti stage actually. That the Sharup Siddhi stage we are eligible to pray this kind of. Otherwise, some Prarthanatmika prayer is our stage. We can willingly offer. This is also a little exalted, but we can offer this thing. Regarding this example is given. I'm just moving forward, fast forwarding this thing that a young boy and young girls, as soon as they saw, if they see each other, young boys and girls, they feel some natural attraction. This is out of sexual impetus. So similarly, in spontaneous way, we can pray that when I can feel this kind of uh, attraction towards you. So this is given in Padma Purana. This is the Sham Prarthanatmika prayers is explained in this paragraph. And then Doina Bodhika prayer is that there is no one as sinful as me. Doina Bodhika means I am feeling. This is very very nice prayer for our case, our situation. Okay. Humbleness. The statement. So this is the submission of feeling by prayers, and this is very feelingly offer prayers, and this is expression of longing. This is like expression of longing, desiring some perfection state means longing to do some service, something like that. Okay. So this Doina Bodhika is very nice for us that we are thinking that we are very sinful. We have done so much sinful activity, but then also you have given some opportunity. So this we can. When I am reading this, I'm not to set the time. My dear Lord, there is no sinful life, living entity who is more obstinate than me. Moshama potito na paibe ar. This is a Doina Bodhika, in the mood of Doina Bodhika. Sinful activity before you. When I come to confess my sinful activity before you, I am ashamed. This is a natural position for a devotee. As far as the conditioned soul is concerned, there is no wonder that he has some sinful activity in his body. This should be admitted and confessed before the Lord. In front of Lord, we should express ourselves like anything. More we express now, more we feel light in our heart. So this is the actually by praying in front of Lord in a Doini Bodhika mood, we really become humble, and we can share our heart that I am so, and we can feel that after we can remember whatever sinful activity, how much I was sinful in my mind, in my word, in my activity, what kind of word we have used uh, before we came to Krishna consciousness. So we should be very much shameful for that. How much, and even the Hey Gopinath, hey Gopinath is also that That prayer, then Hey Gopinath prayer is also in the mode of Doino Bodhika. Bhakti. Okay. Bhakti Thakur's that song. That he is thinking that I am Paradukhe Sukhi, Parasukhe Dukhi. That is what prayer. So, and I am constantly committing sinful activity. So these kind of prayers makes us very humble. During chanting also, that we can read these prayers. Okay, particularly the mood in Doina Bodhika will make us very humble, and we can submit ourselves at the lotus feet of Lord. Okay, so when I come to confess my sin, I become ashamed. So it is a person is not ashamed of the sinful activity and continues to commit the sinful activity with the knowledge that the Lord will excuse them. That is the most nonsensical problem. So we should not take undue advantage of this. Okay, we should be feeling that this is I have. We should feel repent. We should repentfully chant. Chanting should be done in a repentful. Such an idea is not accepted by any part of the Holy. It is the fact that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one becomes washed clean of all sinful activities from his past life. But that does not mean that after doing washed off, one should again being sinful washed away. So this is the seventh aparad. Namnat balat papavasya. Nam bale papachara. Committing sinful activity on the strength of holy name. So this is a very great sinful nam aparad. These are the non-sinful proposition and not admitted devotional. Some may think for a whole week this is about the Christians. They are destroying. So if there are some occasional fall down, accidental fall down, that is okay. That is opijeta shudura achara bhajate mamananna bhat sadhure basa mantobya sammukha. That can be forgiven. Prabhupada Rai has written, I have told last class also, last to last class, one time accidental forgiveness, one time accidental fall down, forgiven. Second time accidental forgiveness, forgiven. Third time accidental fall down, forgiven. Not fourth time. Third time, after third time, the same kind of fall down is happening. That means it is a habitual. It is not a occasional. It is not a accidental. So we need to be very careful of it. That means we have developed that kind of offensive mentality towards holy name. That is the offensive mentality of offense number 7. Oh, today I have committed some sinful activity. Let me chant some more now. This kind of mentality is a very, very offensive thing. This will not work. So this is what we have to understand. Okay. Then Lalosha Mohi, he is explaining further. In Narada Pancharata, there is a statement of submission by desiring for perfection. So here someone is asking that when I will be able to fan your Chamara Rula Bukawe. Narottam Das Thakur has sang the same thing. Narada Pancharata is also telling that when I will fan, and Narottam Das Thakur was saying Chamara Rula Bukawe. That was there in that Lalosha. So this kind of prayer is that we are seeking a position, association, a service. Okay. So depending upon a particular mood, taste. Narottam Das Thakur, I think I have told Narottam Das Thakur's eternal service in spiritual world. Anybody of you know what is Narottam Das Thakur eternal seva in spiritual world?
Yes, Prabhu, you told that he
Told me.
he
Wild milk.
boils milk. Yes.
Wild milk. So this kind of explanation is there. So you can read further. So very nice thing. This lowlam. We should have this lowlam. This lowlam is another thing that one should be very much eager to do that. Eager to do service. Okay. So in other words, one should learn how to cry for the Lord. One should learn this small technique that, and he should be very eager and actually try to become engaged in some particular type of service. This is actually there in Tikashtakam. Oi nanda tonuja kinkarang putitang mang bishame bhavam budho. Putitang mang bishame bhavam budho. Kripaya tavo pada pankajo siddhuri sadrisha vichinta. So this Acharya has explained, this is actually at the stage of Ashakti. where a particular form of Krishna is becoming very prominent, and a devotee is one to engage in that one particular service. Okay, he's becoming very eager, lowlam. This is called lowlam, and such tears, and for that he's crying day and night and chanting. One develops this lowlam or excessive eagerness for meeting and serving the Lord in a particular way. That is the price to enter into the kingdom. Otherwise, there is no mental calculation for the value of the ticket by which one can enter the kingdom of God. The only price for such entrance is lolo lalosam, or desire and great eagerness. Sometimes we may have the prayer, but the prayer should be coming, and with that prayer we should develop the eagerness also. Okay. So this is the thing we need to understand, that uh, this is how the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti will take us to Bhava Bhakti stage, isn't it? Otherwise, how it is possible? How it is possible? So I would like to ask, any of you have any this kind of feel at this stage? We can just share how we can develop this thing. Anyone can share any way out how we can come to this stage? We can pray with this. We can develop this lowlam. How we can develop this lowlam? How we can implement this practice of lowlam and in our practice of regular? This is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. This is not uh, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. This is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. This is the limbs of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Okay. Anyone would like to say anything?
Uh, Prabhu, so
Greedy. Should be greedy. Yes, yes.
recently, like what I started is I started reading Japa diaries of like His Holiness Kadamba Kanan Maharaj.
Okay.
So there, like like his mood, like what he, he's feeling, like his lowlium. So from that, some inspiration, like I get, like in which direction I should, like how I should develop, and in which direction I should think. So one thing is like by reading how other people, other elevated devotees
Yes, very
are
good.
approaching it.
Very good. Very good. Very nice. Very nice. So, and we should develop at least one limb. We should have some service in connection to Lord or his devotees. Okay. I am very much attached to do that. Okay. So it can be chanting, it can be reading, it can be hearing, it can be worshipping, it can be dressing, it can be serving tulasi, it can be doing something. It can be cooking for their devotees, it can be serving for the devotees, it can be making garland for the devotees. Some service we should develop. We should develop an eagerness, and we should be waiting. But that does not mean that if I don't get the service I will not do any other service. No, that is not that. We should follow our authority, but we may develop among all the services. We will do whatever our authorities are expecting from our end. We should do that. But after doing this, not at very initial stage, but after practicing whatever the authorities are telling for some years, we should develop some, because that particular eagerness, that particular service uh, will help us to move further forward. It can be reading, it can be teaching, it can be preaching, it can be sharing, it can be book distribution, it can be anything. And we should try to do, we should long forever. Like sometimes it may happen that now we are in professional life, family life, but we may should develop some eagerness to do some particular service, that when I will get time, suppose when I will be taking leave from office, uh, when I will retire, I will do this particular service. Uh, at least we should develop, so that way we will develop the attraction for that, and that's how
Pro-
we can progress
Prabhu,
further.
just one small thing I remember, like 10 years ago almost.
Yes.
So when I had joined, so I had asked one question to Vardha Krishna Prabhu, like temple president of Narsimha Giridhari Temple, Bangalore.
Yes,
So
yes.
how to develop,
One
how
second.
to, I asked him like how to develop my Krishna consciousness. So I remember still, he said that we should take some responsibility for Krishna.
Yes.
So now I understand, like even little responsibility also, like it we are always thinking how to develop, how to build, how to do that. So
Exactly. That is the preaching. Some taking responsibility means that is the taking the some preaching responsibility is a very great responsibility. So any responsibilities in connection to preaching, like someone is taking care of the deity in the temple, the deities. That is also part of preaching. I consider that is also part of preaching, because after you preach some devotee, where you will bring that devotee to the temple, and the temple, if the deities are not taken proper care, how the devotees will be get the inspiration. Just like visiting Mayapur, just seeing Radha Madhav Vigraha and Panchatattva Vigraha and the way how they are worshipped, many people hearts got melted and they become devotees. So that means someone has given his gallons of blood to bring that particular devotee standing in front of the Panchatattva and Radha Madhav and also Shakti. But then some devotee has taken them so wonderfully that their heart get melted. So both way, everyone is engaged. Like Prabhupada has given an example that this is related to preaching. That preaching or mean not like anything, like Indian Railway example. Indian Railway example is like wheel should move on. Okay, for wheel should move on, the driver may be the driving the train, but a clerk, he is also working and signing or doing some activity, clerical activity, in the sitting in the office. But that is also helping the train to move onward. So that like that, someone is cooking in the kitchen for the devotees who will come. He will feed the prasadam. Okay. So that is also part of preaching. So everything is related to preaching. In this in entire program, what is going on? It is everything is related to preaching. But finally, we should also develop in this entire program some special service. What you are taking, that is also very good. Taking the responsibility, and in that we will always in the mode of constantly thinking of Krishna related things, what I should do. So this is the way we should develop. Okay, we should engage, and how why what will happen in that situation? That situation it will happen that you will not be splayed out. Your focus will be very fixed. You should not go here and there. So that's how, yeah, your mind and consciousness will be always fixed in Krishna. So thank you. So this is the one important thing about the submission. So this is about chapter 9. You can read the other wonderful explanations are given. Everything, if you read more and more, all the things we are doing every day, but just by reading, it gives further clarity and gives. When we will, after reading this thing, the next day when we will do that same thing, we will feel more connected, more মানে আমাদের একটা মনে হবে যেন আমরা আরো সুন্দর করে সেটাকে করি, যেটার মধ্যে ভগবান সামান্য ভগবানকে আমরা যখন গোল করে ঘুরি বিভিন্ন জায়গায়, ভগবানকে মন্দির পরিক্রমা করার জায়গা থাকে, সেটার মধ্যে ভগবান সন্তুষ্ট হচ্ছে, অর্চন করার মধ্যে ভগবান সন্তুষ্ট হচ্ছে। এটা আমরা অনেক সময় কি করে ওই করতে থাকি এগুলো, হ্যাঁ সবাই করছে আমরা করছি, কিন্তু যখন আমরা এইগুলো মনে করব, ভক্তি রসামৃত সিন্ধুতে ছিল গোস্বামী লিখেছেন, প্রভুপাদ লিখেছেন, তখন আমাদের সেটা করার ক্ষেত্রে আরো আগ্রহ আসবে, আমরা আরো হৃদয় দিয়ে করতে হবে। উই উইল পুট আওয়ার হার্ট ইনটু ইট। ওকে, সো অল দ্য items you can read thoroughly, and if you have any question, doubt, we can discuss further. So now I will come to the next chapter, and I will have one question to all of you. What is the difference between Sankirtan and Japa? This I will hear from you. Please contemplate what is the difference between Sankirtan and Japa. Okay. Now, here also very many items are described. Hearing is described. This is very important. Hearing, Shravanam. There are three kinds of Shravanam: Nama Shravanam, Charita Shravanam, and Guna Shravanam. Okay, here it is explained. Nama Shravanam, hearing of the Nam Shravanam, and this is very important. This in particular in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also recommended hearing is very important. Prabhupada has actually said many places, I have established ISKCON temple, ISKCON, just to facilitate the people of Kali Yuga to hear about Lord Krishna. And here a wonderful example is given, just like a snake is bitten. When a person is bitten by snake, he cannot come into he first become unconscious, comatized situation, coma. And at that time, the expert snake charmer, they know some special mantra. Prabhupada has some experience also. When he was staying in Lucknow or some Jhansi, some area, or in Allahabad, he has practical some experience that how a snake charmer can pronounce some mantra, and by that he can uh, uh, make someone free from the poison. He can take out the poison. That kind of mantra is there. He can nullify the effect of the poison by that mantra. So this hearing is like that. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also like that. When we hear attentively, our bhavarog, our avidya will be nullified. So this is the way we can. This is the Mahamantra about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is said that when we are hearing, it is like this mantra has been given by Lord to to save us from this snake bitten comatized situation. Jeep Jako, uh, that song is there. So we should wake up by hearing this chanting. But many a times while chanting, we fall asleep. Mahaprabhu has given this mantra for waking up, but we sometimes fall asleep due to our tiredness, or physical tiredness, or mental indifference towards holy name. So we should overcome these things slowly and should pray for that. Okay. So here you can read about Nam Sravan, Charita Sravan, and Guna Sravan. Okay. So this is very important. And then I'm not going into detail. If anybody has any question, we can. So expecting the Lord's month. This is very important. Ah, Tat Kripakshanam. Tat Kripakshanam. So this someone can read. This is very, very important. Somebody can read, and we will almost complete our today's session. We're at the end of our today's session.
In the 10th canto, 14th chapter, verse 8, it is said, my dear Lord, any person who is constantly awaiting your causeless mercy to be bestowed upon him, and who goes on suffering the resultant actions of his past misdeeds, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of his heart, is surely eligible to become liberated, for it has become his rightful claim. This statement of Srimad Bhagavatam should be the guide of all devotees. A devotee should not expect immediate relief from the reactions of his past misdeeds. No conditioned soul is free from such reactionary experiences, because material existence means continued suffering or enjoying of past activities. If one has finished his material activities, then there is no more birth. This is possible only when one begins Krishna conscious activities, because such activities do not produce reaction. Therefore, as soon as one becomes perfect in Krishna conscious activities, he is not going to take birth again in this material world. A devotee who is not perfectly freed from the resultant actions should therefore continue to act in Krishna consciousness seriously, even though there may be so many impediments. When such impediments arise, he should simply think of Krishna and expect his mercy. That is his only solace. If the devotee passes his days in that spirit, it is certain that he is going to be promoted to the abode of the Lord. By such activities, he earns his claim to enter into the kingdom of God. The exact word used in this verse is Daya Bhak.
Yes.
Daya Bhak refers to a son's becoming the lawful inheritor of the property of the father. In a similar way, a pure devotee who is prepared to undergo all kinds of tribulations in executing Krishna conscious duties becomes lawfully qualified to enter into the transcendental abode.
Yes, thank you. So Prabhupada has said this particular aspect is the governing principle of our devotional life. Okay. This is the eligibility for getting mercy. This famous verse is there. Tatte manukampa susume kshamano gunjana evatmukritam vipakam ऋग्वादवपुभिर् विदधन् नमस्ते जीवते च विदधन् नमस्ते जीवते च मुक्तिपदेदाय भाग. So mukti pade dayo bhag. So this point is that my dear Lord, one who earnestly wait for your boundless mercy. Sometimes we demand, we go in the mood of demanding mode. So here actually that mood is unfavorable for our devotion. We should wait. We should wait for the mercy. And that is this waiting. Waiting will eligible to get the mercy. That's why dhirja is there. Utshaho nischay dhirja. Okay, this dhirja should be there. All the while patiently suffering the reaction of his past misdeed. We should not demand, oh, I am now starting. Sometimes we, in the mind, we think that person is not doing anything. He is staying so opulently. He is enjoying his life so nicely, and I am put into so much trouble. I am doing day and night so many services. I am following Folligarity principle. I am chanting 16 rounds. I am associating with devotees. So like that, we started developing that I have become eligible, but you are not giving me, protecting me the mercy. So that is unfavorable. Krishna want to see that how much we are feeling ourselves lowly. That's why how much we are feeling doino. Okay. So we need to see, we need to consider how our exalted devotee, exalted acharyas have prayed. Krishna Goswami has prayed that জগাই মাধাই হইতে মহিষে পাপিষ্ঠ পুরিশিরা কীট হইতে মহিষে লঘিষ্ঠ. That means I am more sinful than Jagai Madhai, and I am more fallen than the worm of the stool. So it is not that he is just expressing something in a poetic way to get some cheap fame and popularity. No, he was really feeling like that. He was so much humble. So this is the extent. Prabhupada, whenever Prabhupada want to explain this humility, quality of humility, Prabhupada will quote this verse. Only this verse he will quote. Only this verse and Srinadu Vishwanichana, that verse is always quoted. But the example of Srinadu Vishwanichana is we will quote about Krishna Goswami. So that means we should feel that whatever situation Krishna has put has kept us, that is good actually. Okay, so that we can understand that, and we should be thankful to Krishna that yes, my sinful reaction was so much, but then also you have put me only some, you are giving me some little bit trouble here and there. That is all right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. We should be thankful in our suffering situation, in our miserable situation. That attitude will help us eligible. That will make us eligible to inherit the kingdom of God. That is what is it is in diagram. And here the mukti path, regarding this word, when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya heard this word mukti pade, he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no, I should change this word mukti pade. Mukti pada word is wrong in Bhagavatam. It should be bhakti pada. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said no. He was a impersonalist, Mayavadi before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached him. So he was, after becoming Shabhisheshvadi, after becoming a devotee, he was so over enthusiastic that he was even trying to change the Bhagavatam, want to correct the Bhagavatam also. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped him. There is that in Chaitanya Chaitanya. No. This Mukti Pade means Lord Krishna, the shelter. Ashray for the 10th topic of the Bhagavatam on liberation. Mukti, the 9th topic. So this Mukti Pade is, we can say that is the Mukunda. Mukunda is also Mukti Pade. He is the actual giver of liberation. Okay. So not like মানে ব্রহ্মচার্য kind of liberation, but real liberation. So, so this mukti pate means Krishna only, taking shelter of Krishna. So, not like mukti of Mayavadi's mukti or like. So this is how we need to pray, and this is a very very important verse, because in this material world we will be going in various up and down situation. But if we can remember this verse, and we will always thankful to Krishna, and we pray, we pay our obeisance, do our devotional service in that miserable. Sometimes when devotees are put into miserable situation, they first, what the first decision they do, they stop coming to regular classes. First decision is actually that is the time the devotee should come more in the class to take shelter of the devotee, to take shelter of the Lord. But I am seeing, I was last one couple of months ago. I gone to Kolkata, and in our Bhakti Darshan congregation, I was trying to convince, trying to approach that devotee who was not coming. No, I will not. What to do? Some problem I have heard, some problem that devotee is going through. But solution, that person thought the solution is not coming to him. What can be done? So this is very unfortunate. So they become inimical towards Krishna consciousness. But we should be further favorable. Oh, you have given me such small difficulty. This is so small difficulty. I have this is a little difficulty. I am actually eligible to get more difficult. Like someone was cutting some sabji, and by cutting during cutting sabji, his hand got cut. And at the time Prabhupada was there. So Prabhupada, he came to Prabhupada, he or she, I don't know, asked Prabhupada, the Prabhupada, I was doing the Lord service, my finger got cut. What is this? Then Prabhupada said, actually, you have done some sinful activity, for that your hand should be cut out by some accident. But Krishna has reduced your sinful reaction as you have become devotee and practicing devotee. So you have got some finger cut. So by this, Prabhupada was trying to explain, trying to teach us as a Acharya that we should also think like this. Any problem we are facing, so we should think like this. Now today time is late, we are getting late, so I cannot ask you the question that have you, how you can appropriate develop the attitude. This is the words of developing, this is the section, this is the limb of developing a proper attitude towards Krishna. Have you experienced some? Have you seen some? Have you got some experience where you have faced some problem, and you have been able to overcome that problem by praying to Krishna? And you can give any example from our Shastra where someone was praying like this, some personality was praying like this, even though that person was put into so many miserable situations. Anyone can give some example, or you can give some of your personal example. I will, at the end, I will complete the class by sharing one example. It will be really instructive example. Anyone? There is one section is only left over. I will complete that. Anyone from your personal example?
Example, we can think of Kunti Maharani. Then
Yes, Kunti one example is from Shastra. That is nice. That is what I was explaining. I was expecting. Yes.
Yeah, Prabhuji Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes. Yes, please carry on.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Prahlad Maharaj has also. Sorry.
Prahlad Maharaj case was not like that. Prahlad Maharaj was little different situation. Ah, Prahlad Maharaj ah, was further ahead. He was not taking it as a misery actually. He was praying to Lord in that way.
Yes,
Okay.
but he was put into different miserable situation. He was tried to be killed.
Ah,
He was tried to be thrown from the cliff.
yes, but he has not even prayed for shelter also.
Okay.
Kunti Morani has prayed for shelter. Prahlad Maharaj has not even prayed for shelter. Whatever will happen, happen. Like that. He was like that. He was further ahead.
Okay.
So, this should be always remembered. I can share one example. I happen to have been visited one devotee's home. I was when I had gone to Nepal just after gone in the year 2022. When I entered into that devotee's house, uh, they were Jabata Simon disciples, very nice disciples, and they have actually hosted us. We were there in Nepal, so we were interacting each other. Everyone, everything is nicely going on, and then I saw on the wall there are no normally in the deity in the devotee's home on the wall the deities photos are there, but along with the deities photo I was seeing that one small children photo is also there, and then there is children photo and there was some other relatives photo. I think children photo is also there and some other photos also. So maybe some child photo is there sometimes in the devotee's house also. Sometimes their family they keep some children's photos who are small. So we are not asking anything. But later on we came to know that they were actually having a house in Rajasthan. And while coming from Rajasthan to take a flight from Delhi for a flight or taking bus for going Nepal they were having business and they settled there. That devotee family. So while coming after becoming devotee, while coming from Rajasthan from Jaipur or somewhere, they were driving in the car on the highway and they met with an terrible accident. The entire family, terrible accident. And in that accident, their little boy, son, spot dead. His devotee's that wife, that particular devotee's wife was paralysis for many weeks. The entire family was almost in a very difficult situation. Was almost hospital. Everyone was in hospital. And slowly, they overcome. But their son died in that accident. But they never left devotional service. So, so that is what, and they were very jovial. That devotee was very jovial, and so they tolerated that situation and they continued. His Holiness Jagata Swami visited their home actually. When he they normally when Jagata Swami visit Nepal, they were the host. So so there are very terrible situations we may face, but we should thank. And for the time being, for some time, okay, we have to go through that situation, but internally, there is a one explanation. Prabhupada was explaining that externally devotees may go through various up and down situations, but internally, a devotee should be peaceful, and that can only happen by genuine connection with Krishna. It is not very easy. I know this. As I am knowing this kind of example, I know this similar kind of example where a devotee was starting appreciating Krishna consciousness, and then that family also faced some problem, some accidental situation, and they completely left Krishna consciousness. So this is the point where we should develop the proper attitude toward Krishna consciousness. That we are not here. We need to see. That's why this reading Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavad Gita is very important. That we should understand that sometimes we have an understanding that by becoming devotee, all of our material situation will be solved. No. Sri Dhruva Maharaj, Sri Prahlad Maharaj, Sri Kunti Maharani, Sri Pandavas, problem will be there, but they were blissful. So, yes, Krishna will not like the examiner in our material world. They also not examine like a class 5 students are not given the examination paper of class 12. Okay, so class 5 student will be given class 5 examination paper, but some examination paper will be there for us. Krishna will see our Krishna will see how we are fixed up, to check our how far we are, how at which extent we are fixed up. So we have to give some price, but Krishna will finally protect us. So that devotee family has also got further children, if son, daughter, everything they have got. They were having one son only, but further they have. And now they are settled. That Mataji also very nice. They were in a so difficult situation they have, but now they are very settled. So that's an example. We should remember that so many things are there in our life. Okay, and that particular devotee that I am telling, he normally wakes up around 1 o'clock in the morning and complete 25 rounds before Mangalarati. He's that kind of devotee. So, so that is how we have to understand. So anyway, so this is the attitude. So now finally, the one section is remembering. After remembrance, that is the meditation part. We will come and we will complete this meditation part. The question will come. So remembrance is remembrance means somehow or other connecting the mind to Krishna is called smriti or remembrance. Okay, somehow general remembrance is called smaranam, and dhanam means meditation. Meditation means to contemplate on the Lord's form, quality, pastimes, and service with absorption and skill. Okay, so here one example is given, particularly a Brahmana, a South Indian Brahmana. He was very poor, and he was মানে, not having the proper. He was so poor that he cannot arrange nice paraphernalia to offer Lord. So one day he heard in some katha that in mind also we can offer everything to Krishna and Krishna accept. Just like in we have heard when Krishna takes birth in the jail of Kanksha, Vasudev has given donation, given dana by in his mind. Thousands of cows he has given donation to the Brahmanas in mind. So that is accepted. So here also that devotee has performed some. You can read. I am just summary giving a summary of it of the lila, that he has prepared everything in his mind. He has prepared every day he was offering in his mind opulent things. He will be collecting sacred waters from various rivers. He will collecting various opulent food stuff. He will offer. So one day he was offering sweet rice, and sweet rice is normally should be offered in a in cold condition, so just to check whether the sweet rice has become ready to offer, whether it has become cold. So he just dip his hand into that sweet rice, and all of a sudden he found that his hand got burnt out. He was doing everything in his mind. So at that time, Lord Narayana in the Vaikuntha started laughing. So Lakshmi asks, "What happens?" Then he explained that, see, one of my simple devotee, he was offering me sweet rice, and he's in his mind, but his hand now got burnt. So I am now sending. He has become eligible to come to Vaikuntha. So he immediately sent. Here actually the description is there. Narayana, why he was smiling? The Lord, however, did not reply to their inquisitiveness, but instead immediately sent for the Brahmana. An aeroplane sent from the Vaikuntha immediately brought Brahmana into the Narayana's presence. When the Brahmana was present before the Lord and the goddess of fortune, the Lord explained the whole story. So just by meditation, yes, this is not imitatable. We should not imitate everything, but we should also try to develop. This is also a limb of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Okay, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Dhyana. So we can do also this kind of dhyana, but not that key we should do it. Okay, now we have got this principle of dhyana, so physically I need not to do anything. No, this should not be the attitude. I have the capability. That Brahman was a poor Brahman. Vasudev was locked up in the jail. He was arrested in the jail. They were serving in the mind. They were doing devotional service in the mind, but we are not in that situation. We are having our capability, in whatever capacity we have, we should serve Lord in that way. Okay, we should not imitate him, but also parallelly we should develop this attitude of serving in the mind meditation. So there is a thin line difference between remembrance and meditation. Remembrance is general, meditation is specific. Okay, this is the main difference. Okay, so so the so this should be applied in our case also. In the mind also we can do many devotional service, so that way we can engage our mind in the Lord's service. Many examples are there. One example is here. Another example, I am not remembering the exact name of that particular devotee. He has been asked to go to Puri, and then advance party, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming. So in the mind, the road was very heated up. It was a hot summer and scorching heat. So he was praying. He was in the mind. He was laying the petals of rose petals. He was laying on the road, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually was feeling the experiencing the softness, coolness of that rose petal. Okay, the devotee was constructing a road for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a rose with the rose petal. He was laying down in his mind, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted his service. So this is we should uh, meditate on this thing. In this way we should meditate always. So we can always think of this. By this way we can engage our mind, and this way we can make our mind our friend instead of otherwise mind is always wild mind. Chanchalo hi mano Krishna pramati balavad dridam ashaham nigraham manne vayurivo sudushkaram. So it is very difficult. Mano rathena vasati dhavati bohi, always going here and there, basically most of the time taking us abominable, sinful, lusty thoughts. So we can engage our mind in that. More mon vrindavan. So, like, but we should also not take the advantage of this mental offering when we are having the capability of doing physical offering. Okay, we should not say, okay, Janmashtami, no need to make any elaborate arrangement. Let us all sit in the one room and start thinking, okay, we are offering this thing, we are doing this Abhishek in the mind only. No need to spend any money, no need to do any hard work. Simply sitting at one place, we should do this meditation and Lord will accept. No, it is not like that way. Whenever we are able to do, whenever suppose we are in some places, we are going somewhere. Suppose we are in the Damodar Mass, we are going traveling, and we are not able to offer lamp. We don't have lamp in front of us. Okay, and how we can offer lamp? On that every day we should supposed to offer lamp in the Damodar Mass. So how we can do? We are traveling. We are some places where the lamps cannot be purchased. So during that kind of situation, we can sit at one place and start offering the lamp in night. Or somewhere we have taken some fruits and we are not in a position to offer that fruits in a proper way, so that we can offer in the mind. Okay, so we can follow the same process, what we should have been done in front of the deity at the altar in the temple, but in the mind. We should wash the fruits very nicely, and then keep it in the cartit, and then keep it in the plate, offer tulasi, and then start reciting the mantras, whatever the mantras we recite, or Guru Purnam mantra, Prabhupada mantra, Mahaprabhu mantra, Krishna mantra. And then we offer and we ring the bell in the mind, and we close the altar and we sit down for some time, and like that we can offer. But we should not take this undue advantage of anything I can do offering. No need to do all this thing. Even though I'm in my home, everything is there. I will not do my physical activity to offer. No, this is not a way of minimizing our service, physical service. But this is the way where some inconvenience is there, some limitations is there to render physical service. There you can start doing it, and we can develop this thing for our further advancement in Krishna. So that is how we should end our class here. Uh, Thank you so much. So if you have any question, you can ask personally by WhatsApp. Now we will stop the class. It is too late. Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare. Prabhupada ki jai. Hare
That
Krishna.
was a long time
Thank you
ago.
so much. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare
सागर प्रणाम
Sadal Pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.